Hello there and welcome to today's video. Today I'll be making a Lego version of Captain Vaughn from the Clone Wars. I've already started on the helmet, which is just your average Lego Phase 2 helmet, but I additionally lost the printing on the face, so I had to redraw it by hand, and the visor is just a slightly modified version of your average visor. So, with that being said, I'm going to get started on customizing the face, and I guess we'll see how it goes. So as you can see, that gray helps add a little bit more of a battle damage look, as well as a little bit darker burnt orange, which can make it look significantly more accurate in regards to the photo. Alright, so for the next part of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to layer apple barrel paint specifically. A lot of other acrylic paints will also work, but I specifically use this. Just get a decent glob on your paintbrush or whatever it is that you're using. You can use it as a sort of caulk to just fill in the gaps in between. You have to be careful because you don't want it to go through the seam here, ruining all the work that we did previously. So just go in slowly, and shouldn't take too long to dry. And then hopefully you'll get a little bit more of a screen accurate design as far as this is concerned. Just touch up the edges of the visor here as well. Give it a little bit more thickness and try to make it look more like one piece. I may have to use a Dremel tool on the sides here to kind of round it out like how it looks in the photo. So that's what it looks like so far. I'm probably gonna have to go and repaint this visor completely just to obviously get rid of this cream color and get a more screen accurate version of this paint color. So once you get all your paint on there, just leave it, or just put it off to the side out of the way. Let that dry for an hour or so, and you can obviously check it to see how wet it is, but it really is key to the next step that you don't do any more on it until it's wet. So you gotta be patient, you gotta make sure it's done right, and so just put that off to the side and we'll get started on the next part of this tutorial. Also, another important thing is to make sure you take good care of your paintbrushes. I myself have not done a great job, and then you just get really hard glob with a bunch of bristles. It doesn't really go well. So make sure you wash that with some water, a little bit of soap, dry it off, and put it off to the side until you're ready to use it again. So while we wait for Captain Vaughn's helmet to dry, we're going to start on the torso. So this is a part of a custom that I made like forever ago. It didn't look very good, evidently, but that's not really an issue because there's two things we can do here. Either we can scrape this off, or you can try to paint over it. I typically prefer to scrape it off. So, oh, and you can also use acetone or nail polish remover, also works great. So I'm going to use, you got to be careful of this, just scissors, or you can use an X-Acto knife, even some sandpaper would probably work. You just want to try to scratch off all that's on here, and being careful while you do so, but you know, scissors typically aren't sharp, so not too much in there. So as you can see, we're starting to make some progress. If you want, you can switch over to using using sandpaper, if you're into that sort of thing. So after many strenuous hours, you will get a decently clean looking porcelain. Alright, so I decided to go for a little bit of sandpaper. It's kind of giving me an uneven cut with the scissors. So just take a small snippet, just give it a little bit. You don't really need too much. You can use palm sand or sandpaper, really whatever. Just try to even it out a little bit so it's not really rough. Dust off, it's pretty good. Just turn that over. And you're gonna want to get all the sides because if you're like me, you want the truly realistic screen accurate design, and that can only be attained through 360-degree design. So we're gonna have to wrap all the way around. Alright, so once you're done, you should get something similar to this. Maybe you want a little bit finer, not as rough. Either way, something like that. Doesn't have to be too perfect. Just want to get the general colors off. But if you have a little bit of black or dark spots there, be alright. Add to a battle damage look if that's what you're going for.